to Macclesfield Town Hall for Macclesfield Town Council Services Committee. The date is the 3rd of June and the time is 7 p.m. We're here once again to discuss the agenda set before us. There's no members of the public wanting to speak, so that will be fine. Moving on to agenda item 1, we've got apologies for absence.
Yes, Councillor Wilson and Councillor Bennett-Lake.
Thank you very much. Item 2, any declarations of interest? No. Item 3, the minutes of the Services Committee meeting was held on the 11th of March in order to approve these minutes. Do I have a proposer at all? Councillor Barber, seconder. Councillor Warren, thank you very much. All those in favour of the minutes? Unanimously carried. Any matters arising from the minutes at all? No. So, item 5, we have community. So we've got 5.1 is community engagement update to receive and note the updated reports.
Yeah, so we've had a significant increase in our volunteers, which is fantastic. Later on this week, we're holding a little thank you for our volunteers because it's National Volunteers Week. So we held an event to recruit some volunteers for Britain in Bloom, but a lot of those volunteers have actually said I'd like to help out with the events as well, so we've benefited both ways. So we also have delivered a traffic management and community events course, which enables some of our groups to be able to be self-sufficient, manage their own road closures. So we funded that, and we've had a lot of people going on that course, particularly from Pride, so they'll be able to be self-sufficient with their traffic management. And also we've been meeting with Prince's Trust to see how we can partner up to work together, maybe on projects, get people involved. I think Councillor Barber, you're going to be popping down and seeing the latest Cornwall.
Yeah, they were very good.
Excellent. So yeah, there's lots going on.
Thank you very much. Just to note as well from my point of view, when I was there, I attended the Prince's Trust graduation in Winsford in December via HQ, and it was absolutely fantastic to see the work that the young people have done in the local community. So we can try to work with Prince's Trust. I think it will benefit both ourselves and the young people as well. Any comments, Councillor Barber?
Just to come in on the Prince's Trust, I met with them 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So I went down to the fire station. Obviously they're based in the ambulance station at the moment because of the works that are going on, and it was really great because they got me involved with the activities and taught me through sort of the stuff they did. So it was really great to see, and a lot of the young people said it was a lifeline for them. So just to say thank you to the team involved, and I look forward to hopefully supporting them further.
Councillor Wilson?
Really delighted to have the chance to commend our own volunteers in terms of the work they've done. Clearly having a growing band of volunteers can be quite an active events programme. It's a great thing to have, but one of the things that we intend to do this week is push a wee bit more over the fact all of the councillors are volunteers as well. And a number of us, I'm always reminded, Councillor Wilcox have a number of jobs. Right, so it's just a reminder to the public that we all serve as volunteers as well, because I think sometimes they tend to forget.
Okay, so we'll move on to item 5.2, which is CVS CE, again to receive and note the updated reports.
Yeah, so just to say that CVS are still a fantastic support to us with our grant applications. So they've checked them over, and we do actually turn some away if they're not quite ready, and CVS then work with those groups to come back at a later date with maybe it's better systems that they need, or match funding, things like that, so they can help with all that. They've supported Create recently with a lottery bid, and they're also supporting the One Project in the transition to a charitable incorporated organisation, and they've also been working with the DIP, which I know Councillor Barber has also got some meetings about that.
And again, just I think it's important to note that we don't turn grants away without it coming to the finance committee. But it's fantastic that the CVS can actually work with the organisations to make sure that their bid is kind of as strong as it can be when it comes to the council meetings, because there's always questions that need to be answered. So thank you very much for all the work that they do. Any comments or?
Yeah, so just coming on off of the DIB situation, so I've had a meeting with them last week on Friday and today, and CVS have been amazing. The DIB are in a bit of a mess, to be honest, to the point where their board of trustees are proposing to close, and I met a guy called John today who has been using the service for 31 years, and he said it's a lifeline to him. Without them he would probably not be alive. So really key sort of part of what the Town Council does to support organisations like that, I think. And thanks to CVS through Aoife and Catherine, their CEO, who came today, because we are trying to establish a way forward. It is going to be tricky, but it's a terrible situation, and I know all the staff, the volunteers, and indeed the board, who have been doing their best to steer it through the difficult period. It's very upsetting for them all, so I'm looking forward to working closely with CVS moving forward, and just want to put on record my thanks to the team for all their support they've given in trying to help save the DIB.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Just like to echo the thank the work that you've been doing on behalf of obviously working with the Town Council and CVS to hopefully look at saving Disability Information Bureau. Obviously, they have received grants from us to allow people access to wheelchairs and other equipment as well. So wish them all the best as they find a solution to their troubles, should we say. Item 6 is the local service delivery, and item 6.1 is events update, which includes footfall data. So I'm not too sure who's going to do what part of this.
Table tennis it backwards and forwards. So, in March, which feels like a very long time ago, we had Easter in Macclesfield, and it was a lovely day. It was very bright and sunny, but quite breezy, but people came out. It was very busy in town. We had Let's Circus in the town centre doing their circus school, and that's always incredibly popular, so we are actually having them back at least twice more this year, in look so far. Our town centre trail was, again, we had a high uptake with the number of businesses taking part, and then a high uptake with the number of members of the public taking part, so they seem to be very popular, so we're going to keep pushing ahead with those. And yeah, it was just a very nice day. Our volunteers did amazing as always, and even we had a few councillors coming out to hand out daffodils and have a chat with members of the public, so it was a lovely day.
I will tell you about football. The footfall for Easter weekend shows an almost 4,000 person increase across that day compared to the week before or the week after the event. And again, we can compare it to the previous year, which actually the figures in there are for the previous Easter, with Easter moving around, so it's not just the previous year, it is the previous Easter. We also actively go out and seek feedback from members of the public, and we've included some of that here. So how did you find out about the event? So we've had people who said they got the flyer from school, or there was a poster in the VIC window. Their favourite parts were walking around, discovering new shops and the children's entertainment. Suggestions about what we could improve on. So, you know, the team are sitting down and going through these and actually thinking, would that work? How could we get that in there? It's also really good for us to find out, because our events are free to attend, whether people are then spending money in the town centre. So it's all right for us to get the footfall up, but what we really want is then people to support the local businesses. So we actually saw quite a few people saying they were spending anywhere from about £10 to about £50, which was really good. And then just general feedback that it was fantastic, great to get the community together, and much appreciated by families. So all very positive, and all things that we can continue to improve upon and make sure we're getting right each time. just that the number of visitors for this year to date is around 800,000. It is down slightly on the previous year. However, it's really important to note that the north of the country and Yorkshire and generally the whole of the UK are also showing reduction in footfall numbers. So this problem is not unique to Macclesfield, and I think it's something that we must stress to everybody. We aren't the only town going through this. A lot of other towns are experiencing the same drop in footfall, just because lives have changed, people's shopping habits have changed, more online shopping. But the things that we are doing are proven by these footfall figures to be increasing that amount of people that are in the town centre, and as we can see, people are spending money when they come into the town centre as well. So hopefully we're going the right way about things.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this time of year, sort of springish, is when we for our own events we sort of settle down a little bit because there's lots of outside events going on, so organised by outside groups. So the Bikeathon this year had their highest uptake ever. It was the hottest day of the year so far. It was a beautiful day, and they had more than 235 participants taking part. So that's a lot of people coming to town taking part, but that's also a lot of money raised for Just Drop In. So we're very happy to support that activity. The Adlington Morris Men celebrated their 60th year, and they came to town and did a presentation on a Sunday. And Party in the Pews was back last weekend, I think it was, at Christchurch, and that was another busy day because obviously it also takes place across Treacle weekend, so it's a nice busy weekend in town. And then obviously coming up, we've got the triple, we've got MacPow, 1261 and Pride one weekend after another, so it's going to be a nice 3 weeks in town. Speaking of which, so 1261 is coming up at the end of this month. It's a 2 to 3 day event. It's sort of starting, it was meant to start on the evening of the Friday. Some other groups have said we'd like to do something on the morning of the Friday, so it's like fine, so we're going to start on the morning of the Friday. It's going to move across to the evening of the Sunday, so it's going to be a nice busy 3 days. The paper programme is going to the printers this week, and we've got loads of stuff on over the weekend. So we've got walking tours, we've got workshops, we've got like promenade theatre, that's going to start at the end of the parade, and it's going to move off and go somewhere else, and there's going to be loads of stuff going on. And we've been working with the Silk Museum and the library and St Michael's next door at Christchurch, so it's going to really spread out over the town. And then obviously working with Choose Mac, which is the new name for Party in the Pews, and they're putting on the after party, which will be taking place at lots of our sort of late night venues, so we're supporting that late night economy as well. So really hoping it's going to be a really exciting weekend in town and something new, so hopefully we're going to get people excited about it. And then looking ahead, so this Thursday we've also got D-Day, an early morning D-Day, which is to time, there's a reading that needs to be done at 8 AM, which is happening not only across the UK but internationally, so that's why it's happening so early. So 8 AM on Thursday we'll be doing our D-Day commemoration. Do Something Summer is coming back middle of next month, so again every Wednesday we're putting on different activities, including rock climbing, robot wars, comic art, a sort of mass town-wide colouring in activity. Art Space are going to be with us, and juggling ball school, so you make your own juggling balls and you learn how to juggle with them. So that should be nice. And we're also working with the Silk Museum and the library and the Broker Centre, so they're putting on their own things. We're going to have them under our umbrella, so people will have a leaflet that will tell them if you've got a lazy Tuesday, you're not sure what to do, there's something free on at the Silk Museum, there's something on at the Grosvenor, there's lots to choose from. So hopefully the kids can have a really good, free, busy summer holidays. Heritage Open Day will be back on Saturday the 14th. Again, we're doing, as we did last year, Macclesfield Heritage Open Day, so we'll be hosting something in the town hall. We're going to have a map that shows everything that's on in town, so our town centre partners are also hosting their Heritage Open Day events on that day. So it is like a mini festival where you can sort of, again, visit all the different places in town and learn about them and try an activity and maybe see them for the first time. That went down really well last year, so we're excited to do that again. Big news for next year, just to sort of mention this, because of when Lunar New Year falls in 2025, it falls at the end of January and the start of February, which means that actually isn't the time to also do the lantern parade as well, because if we do it too early, there's not enough time to come back after Christmas, and then it's too close to the lunar, and if we do it too late, it's too bright in the evenings. And crucially, Artspace and the Silk Museum do not have the capacity to prepare for both of those things, because it is a lot of workload for them as well as us. So what we're going to do is we're going to rest it for 2025, but we're going to hold a placeholder event. So middle of Jan, we're going to hold a sort of light at the night circus, something that keeps the same spirit as the lantern parade. So it's the idea of getting people out of the house, hosting a free event, getting them out after dark, which is probably only about 4 p.m. anyway, and have some lights and some glow up things. And again, it's going to be stationary in the town centre, so it's achievable, but it still holds that place, and we'll sort of project ahead the year after, so people come back for lanterns for 2026.
Thank you very much. As always, fantastic to see busy programme starting now, going in towards the summer, some holidays. A bit depressing you've mentioned the middle of next month as well, so some holidays start. I know we just got over half term, thank you. But no, it's fantastic that we're able to put on these events, help struggling families that aren't able to go away during the summer holidays, and also looking ahead to later on this year and next year. But again, it's also fantastic that we're able to work with the partners, as you mentioned, like St Michael's and Christchurch and Silk Museum. It's the fact that we're all helping each other try and get the best for our residents. So thank you very much. Any comments, questions, Councillor Winston?
Yeah, no, I think appreciated. It's a great 1261's a great idea. It's a great way of getting a whole weekend as well as the 2 that are before it. And I think it states the obvious, but we need to run these to get people into the town. Otherwise, we can't support local businesses. So I think it's something that's really important in terms of the events. One, they're highly creative, which is commendable, Rachel. But I think the fact that what it does for local business. So if we want to get investment in the town, it's exactly the type of thing we need to do. But one thing that might take some guidance from fellow councillors, we do need to try and encourage colleagues in Ansett and Cheshire East to be a bit better about looking after the town centre than I think they currently are. I think there's parts look a bit scruffy that should probably be addressed. So we might want to see if we can put some pressure on through our councillor contacts to push them a bit harder, because bringing people here, but if what they see isn't up to scratch, then the chances of them coming back aren't as strong as they would be. So just something to maybe think about.
Any other comments?
Just to say thank you, Rachel, and all the team involved in putting together our schedule of events. It's one of the flagship sort of things the town council does, and it's one of the reasons why we're one of the, in my view, leading town councils in the area. So just a thank you to everyone involved. It's a really amazing job you all do.
6.2 is floor displays.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So, as the Assistant Town Clerk mentioned earlier, we've recently recruited some green volunteers, and those volunteers, along with the Britain in Bloom Committee and the Town Rangers, recently went out and sowed some wildflower seeds in, bear with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different areas across Macclesfield. So previously we've just done Broken Cross and Sainsbury's. This year we have done an area, at least one area in each ward. And if you've been driving anywhere across Macclesfield recently, you would have seen that those flowers have started to germinate. They've pretty much got a lovely green carpet now, and there's some yellow ones. I'm not sure what they are, but I will find out. The yellow ones have actually started to flower, which is really good. We're really pleased with how they've come on. We've gone about it slightly differently this year. We've always previously tended to sow annual seeds, and then we've come back to them and sowed annual seeds again the following year. This year we've added to that mix with a perennial mix. So hopefully they will start to self-seed a little bit and germinate in future years. And we've left that central section at Sainsbury's this year to do just that as a bit of a trial. And if you drive past there now, it's about head height, I think, on some of us, and full of pinks and purples and whites, and it's absolutely beautiful. So that section was a complete trial, and we didn't do anything to it. We left it to come back and let nature do what nature does best. So really pleased with how everything's going. The floral displays around town continue to get a lot of attention and positive feedback from people, and we need to thank our rangers for that and our volunteers.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the central part, Sainsbury's roundabout by the old King School, looking fantastic. Obviously there are the other wildflower areas are looking at sad at the moment, but I'm not in a bad way. It's the fact that they will
get there, promise. So
as I drive past the one on Milchie Close and I can see it's starting to look a little bit more green, and it'll be fantastic. It's also good to see that the book hotels that were made by children Easter holidays with more projects have been allocated as well to wildflower sites, so there is a trail for that as well, which is great that we're working with more partners, again looking at Macclesfield in Bloom as well to hopefully increase our status in that. Any comments at all? No, that's fine. Item 6.3 is festoons. At time of writing there is no updates, I believe. No, that's fine. Item 7, leisure and outdoor activities. Item 7.1, parks and play areas.
So in South Park, Answer aim to start the South Park Trim Trail in early June, so hopefully any day now. And there's also a bit of money remaining from the South Park budgets, which we're going to go towards the park run markers, which obviously is a very important event in South Park. And Ash Grove, the focus is going to be on completing Ash Grove, and work has started on the installations in Ash Grove Park to be completed hopefully in June, so hopefully we should have an update very soon. And there's going to be an opening ceremony, so we're going to be working on a opening ceremony for local schools.
Is it Councillor Wilson on the zip line? No.
Is it what, sorry?
Is it going to be Councillor Wilson on the zip line?
Be a good picture, wouldn't it?
Possibly, yes. Or even Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Mayor's going in the zip line anyway.
Big one.
A big one. And he's not relaxed about that at all.
Any comments, questions? No? Okay. Item 7.2 is South Park Pavilion.
I think as the report says, we're waiting acknowledgement of the Public Works Loan. I believe we're waiting for one final signature. The tender documents are being prepared. Should hopefully all be well go out at the end of the month. But I think then the third thing is making sure that we can manage it successfully when it's open. So there's a bit of work to do over the next month or so. One, to get the road, and two, to get the tender out, and then manage the process through. I don't think we'll be on site till later in the year. I'll probably expect if we're on site before Christmas, that would be, or the autumn would be ideal.
Thank you. Any questions about Pavilion? No. 7.3 is playing counts.
Yeah, so Create have come back to us now and say they'd like to hold a last play of the summer event at the end of August, so we're just waiting on some insurance and the finalising of the dates and things before we apply for the road closure, which does take 12 weeks, so as the weeks are ticking by, it's getting more into September, so we're trying to hurry that through and get all the bits sorted out. Yeah, so that's that.
Any questions, comments, playing out? No. 7.4 allotments.
Yeah, so allotments, we've been doing a lot of work to try and get the sites up to the standard they should be at. So thank you, Councillor Warren, for your help with the site inspections. Councillor has been coming along and helping with those. So we've also we're doing monthly site inspections now, which is a lot of work, but it's paying off because people are starting to. I had a visit the other day. People are starting to take note and try and get back up to scratch. The plots that aren't quite there, and as a result of the inspections, we've had a few people leave who maybe would have just left it for even longer, which has paved the way for the new tenants to come in. So we've got quite a waiting list, which is growing by the week. It's going crazy at the minute. So many people are interested. So yeah, that's that.
Any comments, questions, allotments? Councillor Owen.
Just a question following what Anna just said. There is obviously a shortage of allotments in Cheshire East as a whole, but certainly within the town. Is it worth us investigating opening some new allotments? Because it lies with us, doesn't it, as the lower tier of the...
Yeah, I mean we are splitting the plots, as you know. Like we are going to split some more now. The ones that are coming up.
I'm thinking around, have we got enough allotments? Like, I don't think Tillington have allotments. Whether it might be something that we could...
So you're looking at new sites for
New
allotments?
sites, yeah.
We'd have to look into it, I think, because it's the amount of work that this is taking at
Yeah,
the
it's just
minute.
feasibility I'm
Yes,
talking about.
yeah.
I'm not saying let's do it, let's
Yeah.
think about it, because it might need a person to run it, might be the rangers that run it, or...
Yeah.
I suppose also we'd have to look at Cheshire East releasing the land to ourselves as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can find some land they don't want.
Possibly charge us for it as well, maybe.
Just on that subject, might be worth talking to Creeks and Plains, because they'll have got quite a lot of land within the rough estates when they were transferred. There might be some land they've got. Just a thought.
Yeah, if you've got land, it's a liability rather than... because you've got to maintain it and cut it.
We've quite happily as my housing association hand over for allotments.
Yeah.
As I said, walking along the school run today, yes, there's quite a lot of land that needs to be looked after, shall we say.
Yeah.
Look into it.
Question that could potentially be asked.
Yeah.
Any other comments, questions, allotments? No, that's right. Item 7.5 is the street sports.
So we've got a new provider who was appointed at the last services committee. So that's all that they're going on with it now, and it's going quite well. Some of the sites have been a bit slow to start, but they're doing some work. Planning on going out doing some assemblies in schools. It's a community sports trust, so they know a lot of the children in the area anyway. So they're going to be doing some work around that. But you know, particularly the Jasmine Park sessions, really well attended and they're doing a huge variety of sports. So it seems to be going very well.
Just wondering, obviously for our events in the town centre we ask for feedback. Is there any potential that we could ask for feedback from the young people to see how they're finding it? Obviously we've got a new provider, so I think we kind of need to look at the feedback, positive or negative, about how the provider is going along, if that's possible.
Yes, definitely possible. Yeah.
Any other comments, questions about the street sports? Well, hopefully the weather continues to hopefully be nice. It'll be good to see more participants. Obviously with the community sports trust going to schools, doing assemblies, trying to encourage more people to come out, and it's a great way for people to have fun, get exercise and make new friends. Item 7.6, Park Fit.
Yeah, so Parkfit moved back to South Park straight after Easter and had pretty consistent numbers of 17 for the first few weeks. The bandstand does provide some shelter when the weather is really grotty, which obviously it was for most of April and into May as well. But that actually didn't stop people with they all managed to squeeze under, and Matt was able to sort of programme the session so that people weren't getting in each other's way or star jumping into each other. It obviously isn't ideal being under the bandstand because the rain can come in sideways and there's a bit of a big puddle in the middle of it, but with the weather hopefully starting to pick up a bit now that we're in June, we'll hopefully see numbers creep back up again, and then we'll be in South Park until the end of September, I think it is, or around half term in October.
Thank you very much.
And I understand, thank you.
Casey's looking to start back again. Any other comments, questions about Parfitt's? No. Okay. Moving on, item 8 is the street scenes. So item 8.1 is public realm furniture.
Abby, do you want to?
Yeah, can do. So Cheshire East Regeneration Team were successful in a bid for 495,000 from Shared Prosperity Fund, and that was to spend on public realm in Macclesfield. And obviously us being based in the town centre and having sort of quite a big input into what happens, and our rangers keeping the area tidy, us providing some of the festoon lighting, etc. We're working quite closely on that. So it's all about enhancing Macclesfield and making the town centre a bit more of a green, welcoming space. So many of the things that maybe Councillor Livingston was alluding to before, parts of the town not looking the best. And there'll be interventions such as new trees and planters, there'll be new street furniture down Chestergate and in the marketplace, possibly some new murals and public art. And then our rangers will be working with them as well to maintain that greenery and to continue maintaining some of the planters that we already look after, even if that's sort of giving it a bit of a zhuzh up with some art, some painting on it, just to keep it looking its best. So it's really going to benefit the town, and it will make the town look better. And we know that people out there can be a little bit negative and say, well, why spend this money? But if we can make the town look a nice, attractive place to visit, then that will encourage people to come and spend money, and will encourage investment in the town as well. So it's all going to be really positive.
Any comments or questions? No? Okay. Item 8.2, always a popular agenda item, is the town ranges.
So this is approaching their busiest time of year now, so we're getting more inquiries from the public about things that need doing in the town. Obviously everything's growing, so they're working hard to keep on top of that, and they are so responsive. So generally when people email in or message in, within 2 days something has been done about it, if it can be done, or we passed it on to Cheshire East or whoever it needs to be passed on to. They've also been supporting me with the allotments, so doing a lot of work on those, and obviously it's Britain in Bloom time, so they've been working really closely with Abby and Nicola on that, and the volunteers. So yeah, it'll be an exciting summer.
Yes, all being well, fingers crossed. Any comments or ranges or questions? Okay. Item 8.3 is their 1625 gallery. There is a new installation that I saw somewhere as I walked past.
Yeah, it's a lovely installation. If you've not had a chance to look at it, it's worth it. It's a sculpture this time, so it's classic art, and it's just really beautiful, and it's nice to have something in there that I've seen every time I've walked past. I've seen people looking intrigued as to what it is. So and it will lead on to later on in the year some stained glass, which I know we've talked about. We're really excited about this one. But yeah, that is happening. So we're working on getting the artist appointed for that. So yeah, continues to be popular.
Yeah, fantastic. Councillor Lawrence?
Yeah, just
So the launch of the social media pages will happen this week. So it's all going to be all systems going from that. Community engagement, we've employed someone to do that, Lucy, who does the O165 gallery. She's the nominated person for that. So that's going to be starting in the next couple of weeks. So she's going to go to different locations. She's going to be at the 1261 Festival, getting people's opinions on how a museum on the street should look, what kind of snippets of history they remember about Macclesfield. We're trying to capture the quirky things as well as the facts that we know. We want some of the more quirky stories. So it's all on track and it's going to be really good. Yes, thank you, Rachel.
No, it's fantastic. Looking forward to the museum on the street. It was fantastic to. Obviously, there is this sort of museum that gives some of the history, but to see it out on the streets is it gives people the chance to see what has gone on, and then gives the opportunity to go down to this sort of museum and look at it in further detail all being well. Any other comments at all? No. Okay. So moving on. Agenda item 9 is town centre regeneration, and we'll start with number 1, town centre free Wi-Fi data.
Yeah, so in previous meetings, we've sort of identified that numbers logging on and connecting to the town centre free Wi-Fi have been going down, and those numbers have been increasing whilst going down. However, in March we started promoting the free Wi-Fi a bit more with social media posters in high traffic area, the VIC promoting it on notice boards in various places around town, and we've actually seen in March and April that numbers have virtually stayed the same. So considering there was a 10% decrease in February to then numbers, as I said, stay the same, March and April is really good, and hopefully it is that awareness raising with people in the town centre, just to say, look, it is available, you can log on. Most popular time of the day remains lunchtime period, so again, you know, it is probably people working in town or maybe working on the outskirts and then coming in at lunchtime. But yeah, it's quite positive.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see that something that we're paying for the public is being used. I think in previous meetings you've mentioned about data on phones, but if we can try and save people's data for if they're out and about without any Wi-Fi, something positive. And the numbers, you can't lie with those, argue with the numbers of the fact that the positive campaign that you've led on that avenues doing something to help with that. Any other comments? Some questions? No. Okay. Item 9.2 then, town centre signage.
Going to skip over the archway for the Castle Quarter, something to update. Public toilets, obviously they've been in a while now, that we have got posters again, the VIC promote them, we've got posters in high traffic areas around town, the front of the town hall, and the triangular Corex boards are also up now as well. We know that there is an issue obviously with those toilets not being open on a Sunday, and potentially the work that Cheshire East are doing with the indoor market and the redevelopment of that situation may change. There are also plans for us to twin the toilets with one in a developing country, and we're just waiting for the go-ahead to do that and have some signage up, but that will help, you know, support in a different sort of way. The railway station, so Museum on the Street project that the Assistant Town Clerk has talked about, will involve a bit more of a welcoming sign being placed at the train station. The one that's there at the moment is a map of various things and car parks, and it's very out of date. So we will put something there that actually throws a big arm around people and says, welcome to the town and this is what you can experience. And myself, Councillor Barber and Councillor Wilcott met with the community officer at the railway station in May, it was, and we discussed the various number of posters, boards that they have at the train station. So we are going to have a dedicated one. There are others that we can use as well. So we've talked in the past about promoting a bit more to people outside of Macclesfield. Hopefully those coming in from Manchester and Stockport on the
just like going on to public toilets, I do believe we are still working with St Michael's to have facilities around public
Correct.
toilets on a
Yeah,
Sunday.
so Sunday people can use St Michael's. There was obviously an issue at Easter
Yes.
because of Easter Sunday and Treacle falling on the same day, and people not being able to use the toilets in the church meant that many people were left inconvenienced by the lack of conveniences. So we are aware that that is an issue, and it is something that we are looking into continually and trying to find a solution to it. Like I say, we hope with the redevelopment of the market, it may mean that those will be able to be opened on a Sunday.
And again, the railway station, seem to remember many years ago, when you got off the train at platform 1, there was welcome to Macclesfield. There was a child in a Stockport County football top, which, yes. So hopefully we can rectify that.
We won't make any mistakes with our posters, don't
Yeah,
worry.
I think it was something that can solve the train station itself, but yeah, no, it's really encouraging that we've got a presence at the train station. Maybe people visiting family on one day will see a poster and say, well, you know, come to that a few weeks later. So it's very encouraging that we've got the train station on board. Any other comments or questions? No? Okay. Item 9.3 is to receive a tax report from the Community Transport Subcommittee.
Yeah, I mean, I think the report hopefully sums up. We had obviously a very productive meeting with Dan from D&G. They're very impressed with the free bus scheme, very keen for it to continue. I believe we're still obtaining the data from Cheshire East because we got to go directly to them rather than D&G. I don't understand that, but regardless. So yeah, that was good. Councillor Thompson is leading on bike scheme, so we're doing a lot of work around putting together a pilot scheme. So that's in the works. And then the final bit around FlexiLink. I've been trying for months, and now believe that the town clerk and the comms officer are trying to get FlexiLink to come, and it's proven to be beyond challenging because no one seems to know who the right people is, whether it's ANSA, whether it's transport. It's a kind of worms that is yet to be unpicked, but it's that sort of links nicely into sort of our renewed mission around accessibility. So one thing that I've asked the town clerk to do is to bring sort of discussion about shop mobility into the Community Transport Committee. So we'll be discussing that, and that links quite nicely into obviously the ongoing situation with DIP. So moving forward, we can discuss how we can sort of collaborate a bit further to improve transport and mobility around the town for the elderly and disabled.
Thank you very much. Just a on FlexiLink. Is it true that I believe that it finished at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon because of schools and I mean obviously there is a need. We know that there's a need for people to get into town, whether it's hospital appointments, doctor's appointments, or just even to get into town. So yeah, hopefully if we can figure out who is in charge of FlexiLink.
If Cheshire East can figure it out and answer, then they are more than welcome to let me know.
Fantastic. Any comments or questions about the Community Transport Subcommittee?
I think we underplay that we've done this, and it's ambitious in terms of doing that, and it gets people in the town. So I think it's to credit for that, and I like the idea of a bike scheme. I think that's again that's working in a different way. It's a bit of lateral thinking. So thanks, James. Thanks, Councillor Barmer.
Okay. Just on the back of, I know it's not the same thing, but on the back of the bike loan, obviously this coming Saturday we are blessed by a short amount at Macclesfield hosting the Female or Women's Soul Britain, Pector Road, Broken Cross, Falbury Road and Privy Lane. So if you're not doing anything Saturday morning, if you fancy seeing for about 10 seconds, a minute or two, email cyclists put this by, would be fantastic. Item 10 is the Council Identity and Notifications.
Last but not least,
Saving the best till last.
Exactly. So in social media, followers, Facebook, Insta, Twitter continue to increase. We get so many people following us and liking our stuff, and we really appreciate that. Top posts for each have included the summary we did about the Easter event, which reached around 24,000 people. Free bus posts reach around 17,000 people, and when we put out a tender for the designer required for the museum on the streets, that had a reach of around 7,000. Top post in terms of likes, again the summary of Easter, free buses and wildflowers, so we know the sorts of things that people like and can engage with. The Mayor's page has now been handed over to Councillor Livingston, so he started with 732 followers, so
I'm not completely.
They weren't all my followers.
Suppose I end up with more than you gave me.
No, that's fine, because it shows that the new, as mayors carry on, people continue to engage with. So
yeah, got some big shoes to fill. So we talked about feedback forms. Oh no, hang on one moment. Yeah, we talked about feedback forms earlier. Continuing to give these out, and our volunteers are really good at actually getting them in front of people and getting people to fill them in, and we'll have those available online as well. We're also going to be tweaking them a little bit, so 1261 will be the first event where we've got some more yes/no based questions, which will make that data a bit more quantifiable in the future, so that we can track it over a period of months or years, compare it to previous times. We have always get told that nobody knows about this event, we've not seen it anywhere, we've not seen it advertised. We do put lots of posters up around the town centre, and people then say, well, nobody comes into the town centre, so that's why they don't see them. So we have addressed this by ensuring that officers, councillors and volunteers are now putting up posters across all of the wards. So you will have seen the Correx, triangular Correx boards, which feature Mac Pride, 1261 and Mac Pow. They've gone up everywhere, so there should be some on every estate within town, and there are some in the town centre as well. We've also addressed that fact by introducing a mailing list, which I think I've got some further details on that a little bit further down, so I'll fill you in then. Oh yeah, this is it. Now, straight to the next section. So we set up this mailing list. It's taken quite a while to sort of iron out a few creases, but we have that now, and at the start of May, I sent out an update about the 1261 as a standalone item. So the idea is that people will get automatic updates every time an event is added onto the website or a council meeting is added on. But we can also send out standalone stuff. So we sent out the 1261 festival update, and we sent out a copy of the annual report to everyone who was signed up to our mailing list. We've currently got about 106 people signed up. So not massive, but when we launched 1261 and we put a reminder on social media, there was a big jump, and you can see quite clearly that that happens at the same time as us saying, please remember to sign up. The average open rate of our newsletter is 78.4%, which is quite a bit higher than the average, which is apparently between 30 and 40%. So far, obviously the people who want to see the information we're providing, are opening it and reading it, so that's really good. An email with the annual report was sent out at 3 p.m. on Wednesday the 15th, and by 10 a.m. the next morning, 59 out of the 99 emails had been opened, and the percentage of clicks per unique open was 27%, which is just under the average. So again, for less than 24 hours after the email being sent out, it's very good, and we're really pleased with how it's going so far. As again, we're continuing to use printed materials as well as social media. We're continuing to go on local radio, use local people, go in the Mac Express, put up posters. We've got the Correx boards, and we will be sending out some street sport leaflets to the specific schools which are near the new sites, so that they get a bit more detail about their specific ones. We've got events set up on the website for all street sports sessions and all park fit sessions. If anybody wants to know any more details, they can go and find it there. Mail shots have been sent out. We've had photo spreads for the Mayor Civic Awards in the Mac Express. We've had adverts in the Chamber of Commerce magazine. So we're sort of trying to cover everything. We still are waiting on a couple of notice boards outside of Coffee Number 1 and Card Zone. However, they are with Cheshire East, and we are still waiting on any sort of update for those. But you know, we are hoping to get some more public boards, which will probably be double-sided to allow us to use them for Museum on the Street as well. So they will cover a number of uses, but that's just out of our hands at the moment.
Thank you very much. As always, fantastic updates about how communications are going within Town Council. I've noticed on across North Umbrella, the correct walls outside prominent places as well, so it's not as if they've just been put in a place with no or little traffic. So yeah, thank you very much for all the hard work you've done promoting all the events that Rachel's been organising as well. Thank you. Any other comments or questions at all? No? Thank you. So item 11 is the date, time and place of the next meeting. So the next Services Committee meeting will be the 12th of August, 7 o'clock here at the Town Hall. Just like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you